suppressed. Art is all that cannot be suppressed. Art is all that cannot be suppressed.
I'm not taking any risks or losing any privileges because one of you bleeders kicks up a stink against the house a bad name. And always remember, they've got the whip hand.
Do you know what I'd do if I had the whip hand? I'd get all the coppers, governors, posh whores, army officers and members of parliament, and I'd stick them up against this wall and let them have it. Because that's what they'd like to do to blokes like us.
Well, you'll learn.
We'll see.
Hello, America.
Listen.
Sabotage. Sabotage. Sabotage the system. Sabotage the system. Sabotage. Sabotage. Sabotage the system. Sabotage the system. Sabotage. Sabotage. Sabotage the system. Sabotage the system. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. The problem Sabotage the system. Sabotage the system. The problem with the WTO. The problem with the WTO. Sabotage the system. Sabotage the system. Sabotage the system. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand. First of all, you have to understand. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. First of all, you have to understand. First of all, you have to understand. First of all, you have to understand what the system is. The problem with the WTO. The problem with the WTO. The problem with the WTO is the same problem that all the institutions that fill our lives are guilty of. There's people other than ourselves in control of our lives. They just keep getting further and further away from us and more powerful. I don't care whether they're making decisions that I like or whether I hate. The fact that they're making those decisions is unhealthy and unnatural. So I'm hoping that we can come out here and get crazy and fuck enough shit up that every city in the world knows that it can't host a WTO conference, and it better give control back to the people of their own lives, or else that city's gonna be torn to pieces.
It's not the case, as the naive might think, that indoctrination is inconsistent with democracy. Rather, it's the essence of democracy.
Degenerate art.
Class war.
I repeat that.
I know there's no God.
Insolent mockery of the divine.
Your wealth is our poverty.
We're going to continue our live coverage here.
Entartete Kunst. The Degenerate Art Show.
Get rid of the state.
Anti-government.
The right of the working people to organize and to better their conditions by means of their organized power.
This is the beginning, and everything's at stake.
You're looking to reform the state so it's kinder, gentler, fascist, imperialist power? Or you want to abolish it? I mean, that's a fundamental kind of question.
San Francisco and the Bay Area.
Propaganda.
I say the fight that's always been the point to our resistance was never between skin, but the profit reaped off of it. It's a class war. And if today we fall without compromising, we can be sure of victory tomorrow.
The anarchist movement is gaining strength and coming our way.
These are not simply matters of academic interest.
There ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Art forgers.